As a mother, I would just
The
say
nerd in
step
me.
away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look at the weather.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Fred. I got a video today from Pegasus. Woman bullies kid over playing Tetris. Really? A kid can't even be a kid anymore? But she gets destroyed by the internet. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
This woman just made fun of a kid on national TV. Alright, so the story goes that this news anchor for Sky News, which is like a British news source, was covering a story about a kid who was just playing some Tetris. Turns out, he's no ordinary kid, he's actually a god gamer, because he actually ended up beating the game of Tetris. Now, if you don't know Tetris lore,
I didn't even know you could beat the game. I thought it was like endless continuation of Tetris.
or you don't keep up with the gaming scene, basically Tetris was considered impossible to beat by a human being. Now, if you're an artificial intelligence specifically created to beat the game, sure, then it was possible, but a human being had not beat the game since it was created in 1984. So this is an
Holy shit, this game is 2 years older than me and no one's beaten it? God dang, guys.
absolutely huge deal, and the fact that a 13-year-old has accomplished this task is absolutely freaking insane. It's a huge deal in the gaming community. So, what did this news anchor respond with? Well, this news anchor essentially reacted in the worst way possible. She basically told this 13-year-old kid to go outside, touch some grass, and stop wasting his life. It's actually insane. Here's a clip from his stream.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's a big deal. Congrats to this kid.
Oh my god! Yes!
I'm at 13 years
Oh
old.
my god! Oh my god! I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out.
Okay, so he is absolutely freaking out, hyperventilating over there, and understandably, he probably put an ungodly amount of time and effort into playing this video game, so he
I think that's the part where I don't think a lot of women and other people realize the amount of dedication, time, and effort to achieve some of these things in gaming history. To complete a game that has never been completed for almost 39 years of its life, that is a tremendous feat for anybody to have achieved. It doesn't even matter if it was in gaming or not. It's sad that people view gaming as such a degenerate tool, where it's a fun tool that can help facilitate some boredom, but it's not as bad as everybody seems to make it out to be.
dad, Adam Gibson, who passed away December 14 this year at age 39.
And he dedicated this to his father, his deceased father, and you're gonna, oh my god, people.
Willis is the absolute GOAT, bro. Alrighty, here we have the tweet by Dexerto. A news anchor has been called out after diminishing the accomplishment of a 13-year-old beating Tetris, telling him to go outside and that beating the game isn't a life goal.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
Oh my god! Oh.
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks.
Isn't that crazy? To defeat a code in a game. Like, just the sheer idea of that, to have gone through a game where the game ran out of code for you to keep playing. Man.
As a mother, I would just
The
say
nerd in
step
me.
away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look at the weather.
Oh, wow. She really... Damn, that laugh says it all right there.
Shut up, bitch!
Oh yeah, beating the game isn't a life goal. Not like the kid is 13 years old and is not even thinking about that type of stuff. He's just a kid playing some Tetris, man. Why you gotta
Exactly.
pick on him like this? It's not cool. Now I know that some of my audience might think this is completely dumb because, like, who cares about Tetris, right? But it's actually a really big deal and it's really hard to...
Even again, what I say, even if it's a game, it doesn't matter. In 39 years, no one was able to complete this, and he was the first to do so. It doesn't fucking matter what the fuck it is. If it's a game, it could be fucking walking down the street for whatever it is. It's a world record. Not only a world record, it is the first time this has ever been achieved. That's a fucking deal.
accomplish, and the fact that just the time frame tells you how hard it is, because from 1984 to 2024 nobody has done it. Okay, so it's a definitely 1 in a million type of guy. I feel like the response to this is completely unjustified. Telling a 13-year-old kid to just go outside as if he wasn't working on something really meaningful is really cringe, because you wouldn't be saying this to, I don't know, a 13-year-old who won a competition for tennis or won a competition for football or something like that, right? Because he's playing sports, he's outside or whatever. What you gotta understand is that people have different hobbies, people have different things they put their time into, and every single thing, okay, most things, okay, I'm not gonna say like drugs or whatever is extremely valuable, but okay, most things are pretty valuable over here, okay? And if he gets entertainment from it, what's the freaking problem? Tired of these boomers going like, video games suck, go outside. Shut the hell up. You haven't known joy in your entire goddamn life, have you?
Okay. I'm gonna push back a little bit, Pegasus. I think why they always suggest going outside and doing things, physical activity. I also agree physical activity is huge for kids and for the youth. So if you can go outside and get some physical activity, you should. Staying inside playing games all the time isn't the greatest. I think most people can admit that just staying in there and not doing anything else physically is a bad way to go. So just I think that's how the older generation sees it. Yes, they don't get the little nuances of everything else, but they're more on the physical, you need to go out and move kind of thing.
And the thing is, you're supposed to be a professional news reporter.
That's
You're
the part,
supposed to just report the news, not insert your opinion that absolutely nobody asked for, and call this kid a loser, basically. Now, later on in the video, we'll talk about the CEO of Classic Tetris World Championship actually responding to this, and I'm pretty sure he made his day with this response. But first off, let's check out people's responses, because this is the fun part, you know, getting roasting people on Twitter. He's 13, Lamau life goal. Kid's life barely started, as I said. Imagine having to talk down about a literal kid just to make yourself feel better. As a viewer, I would tell her to go outside, and that telling other people what their life goal should be isn't a life goal. And that's just how it should be, because people are on different paths. And you might think that gaming is completely useless, that gaming is a waste of time or whatever, but people use it for a variety of things.
No, he's right. This is what a lot of people think, and I think it's just the excess. If you're excessively playing video games and not doing anything else, you're excessively, you know, just at home, indoors, you're not working out, you're not playing any type of like activity that gets you moving. People really need to start moving more. That's my biggest issue with video games. Like, I love the VR type stuff because it gets you moving and all that. I'm just more about fitness and a little bit more on the health side of things. Yes, trust me, when I was young, I gamed 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours straight before. Trust me, it was a thing when I was a kid. But was it healthy? Was it really that great? Would I tell other kids, you just play video games, you don't need to sleep. You don't need to go out and, you know, get any physical activity. No, I would never say that. So
for example, gaming is a form of escapism, just the way you might be watching TV shows, just the way you might be
100%
going
agree.
outside, hanging out with your friends or whatever. So
that's why I always say in moderation.
some people like playing video games, okay? And they might even be playing them with friends, they might even be playing them alone, or they just like the achievement aspect of it, and that's perfectly fine. I hate this.
I love playing video games with others. Any video games that was multiplayer, you get to either fight against each other or, you know, play with each other. It was always the best. I wasn't a big fan of playing video games by myself. It wasn't as enjoyable as you get to do things with others.
sort of demonizing of things that are not like normal. I mean, I feel like gaming is very, very normalized now, but obviously these people are still living in the T-Rex age, and they're probably half convinced that a meteor is gonna wipe them out or something. For a 13-year-old, this is the best feeling ever. By the way, this person's name is Anime Lover. I'm sure this news host will have something to say about anime as well here. The funny thing is that on this anchor's Twitter page, she reposted a story about a teenager who plays darts, which is also indoors. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Not a life goal, but made it onto the news for an accomplishment a 13-year-old made. I don't know. That sounds like the fruits of accomplishing your goals, lol. And I will say, getting on national news as a 13-year-old is a hard thing to do, okay? When I was 13, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was just really stupid. I was playing a bunch of video games or whatever, but I was in Tetris World Champion over here. I didn't do something that millions and millions of people couldn't do, okay? He's 13. What do you want him to do?
Not even millions. 500 million people couldn't achieve this. This 13-year-old was able to do it. Congrats to this gentleman.
Or cancer. Probably. That's sort of the expectations we're setting on kids these days. I don't know. And that attitude is why she reads news instead of making it. Oh, we're just burning. We're just burning people now, huh? News host when kids are having fun with video games. No, you must go outside. Go play outside. Like, I hate the fact she's like, as a mother, as if this kid's mother has somehow failed him by letting him play Tetris for a couple hours.
You know, I love Pegasus. He's so funny. He's very so nonchalant and like chill about everything. I have a friend that's just like him. More of an acquaintance, they say. Like, he reminds me of Pegasus so much, except he's a little bit more overweight. So
Jesus Christ. Well, someone's clearly never experienced the satisfaction of clearing 4 rows at once in Tetris. Maybe the news anchor should try it for themselves before they come for the 13-year-old Tetris champion. Fire her ASAP. Okay, so here we have a games journal.
That's the other part I'm not a big fan of. Look at these people. Fire her ASAP. Whoa, guys. She just gave a little opinion. Dumbass opinion, of course, but it's her opinion. There's no need to cancel her, get her fired and all that. We go too far sometimes when trying to fit retribution in some of these little things. She just made a little joke. It wasn't warranted to get her fired.
Journalist talking about this situation. It is the year of our Lord 2024, and Sky News is still telling people who play video games to go outside and get some fresh air. Notably, on the same day, they're praising a 16-year-old darts player. So basically, in another story, they were talking about a 16-year-old darts player, and I don't really understand this disconnect here, where you can praise a 16-year-old darts player, but not praise a 13-year-old for accomplishing something very impressive in Tetris, because I would think in their like sort of ancient boomer brain that those classify in the same category, like that's a game and that's a game as well. Obviously it's a different type of game, you know, you're actually moving your arms or whatever. Maybe they can.
I think how boomers see it is there's an actual competition that's making money in darts. Like there's televised competitions, and Tetris there isn't. So I'm thinking that's how they kind of see it. Just a thought.
Consider that athletic or something, but it's pretty much in the same ballpark here, so I don't know why one would be okay and why one wouldn't. But in any case, I think anyone who does significant achievements should be praised and not chastised on national TV. Would just add that I'm seeing some abusive comments being directed at the reporter. By all means, criticize her, but please rise above anything abusive, mainly because
I agree. That I 100% agree. Yeah, she was kind of dumb, but there's no need to try to get the chick fired. Like we need to stop doing this, trying to get people fired for whatever reasons all the time. Like, I admit there are some times where karma does, play its role, but no need to push karma into it all the time.
it's shit, but also because it does your cause no favors. Yeah, I don't think any witch hunting is helpful here. This is easily the stupidest comment. Darts is more athletic than esports. At least that kid was standing up. What are you on about? Maybe this kid actually exercises. Maybe he goes outside. But for getting the record, I will admit that he probably spends a lot of time on Tetris, okay? Unless he's a natural born genius or whatever. So he probably spends a significant amount of time, maybe 6 to 8 hours a day or something, playing Tetris, maybe even more. That's fine. If he's passionate about something, sure. But you don't know what he's doing in this in the rest of his free time. He might be going outside. He might be hanging out with friends. Why do you gotta judge him as this basement dwelling person over here just because he got the Tetris world record or something here?
No, you're right. Pegasus is right. A lot of people see us as like incel type behavior. That's where a lot of people, like especially women, associate incels is these gamer guys, the gamer types that are just so into games or in gaming for hours on end. Those automatically get put into that incel category. So I can see why that news anchor was kind of like scoffish about his achievement, because it's an incel in her mind. Like, who cares if he achieves something? Just a thought.
Goes home and plays Candy Crush in bed. And that's what I hate about these situations, okay? By the way, her demographic is actually the leading player base of Candy Crush, so probably, most likely. But also, she probably has tons of hobbies by herself as well, where she is not like gaming, but she's doing other things which would be considered wastes of time as well. Whether it be watching TV shows or art, singing, everything. We only have one life, and there's a million things you can do, and I think it's better to, let people do what they want instead of being a judgmental prick on TV. Two things to dissect here. There are kids with YouTube channels that make 100 times what she makes playing video games. Interesting mantra coming from someone who, and people might not believe this, watch her show on the exact same device that she's telling gamers to evade. Yeah.
This is 100% true, right? Like, this kid might be on his way to becoming one of the top gaming streamers in the world. He just achieved something that no one's been able to achieve. He has clout now. He's famous. So he's reaching his life goal. He might want to be the top gamer in the world. He's reaching those goals with very little tasks in between. He's already 813.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say video games are a waste of time. It's a form of escapism, and while I don't think most people are going to become either YouTubers or live streamers or professional gamers and turn it into a monetary career, I still feel like it's completely fine to do. So his name is Willis Gibson, if you wanted to check him out or whatever. He just goes by the streamer name Blue Scooty. And this is what a prominent person in the space said. "This is unbelievable. Vince Clementi, CEO of Classic Tetris World Championship, told Routers, developers didn't think anyone would ever make it that far. And now the game has officially been beaten by a human being." This is surpassing human limits over here. Now, when the developers don't even think that you can beat the game, that's when you know it's an absolutely insane fucking ordeal.
That's why I said it, because the nerd in me was just like, dude, these guys were like, yeah, this is probably enough to, like, no one's ever gonna like get this far. And then as a programmer, dude, imagine the original programmer is like, the motherfucker did it. I could have sworn I fucking wrote enough code to nobody can do this.
Insane challenge, okay? Previously, only an artificial intelligence computer program had beaten Tetris, as I said. Willis employs a rolling controller technique popularized in 2021 that allows a player to manipulate the D-pad at least 20 times per second to move the blocks, far more than the previously popular hyper-tapping method. It is also the best-selling video game of all time with 520 million copies sold. So the amount of—
Oh, I did not know that it was the best-selling game of all time. Like, wow. Even more of a feat. This man defeated the most popular game in the world that's ever been sold, that no one has ever been able to beat, at 13 years old? Times 100.
people that have actually played Tetris and been exposed to Tetris is absolutely insane. I've definitely played it tons of times, and I absolutely suck at it, especially on the airplane when I can't even focus when the goddamn air pressure is getting to me, dog. Jesus Christ. She must issue an apology for expressing personal views during the news bulletin. I think they are allowed to have like personal opinions or whatever, but I think definitely in the next news broadcast, she should issue an apology to the kid and say, hey, I'm sorry, sorry for calling you out like that. And next time, just don't act so superior, so stuck up, stop putting other people down. And it's okay to see other people having fun, okay? You don't need to be such a goddamn Twitter user. Anyways, that's pretty much it.
This is the thing, right? This is why boys can't really get ahead in life. Like, anything that boys seem to do is always demonized or looked down upon. Imagine a 13-year-old girl that's just playing with dolls or doing whatever. They wouldn't have said the same thing to her. They wouldn't have said the same thing about achieving life goals to her, right? But when it's a young boy, all of a sudden life goals matter now at 13. All of a sudden, like, he needs to go out and do things in the world and achieve certain things in the world. But we've never pushed this on women. But we're equal now.